Cold email copywriting for B2B services. This video is for anyone who's running a B2B service who wants to reach more clients / put together a cold email copywriting sequence that actually works. In this video, I'm going to break down how I structure cold email step by step. That's subject lines, body, and follow-ups. So if you mess up your subject line, no one's opening your email. If you mess up the body, no one's booking a call. So let's dive in to make sure that doesn't happen. Before we get into all of it, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Miguel Santos. I'm the founder of Inbox Vessel. I build done-for-you cold email outreach funnels on behalf of other businesses so that they have a predictable lead flow for their business. So let's get into this. So step one is subject lines. Subject lines need to be short and they need to be personalized, but they also need to be good. Because subject lines are 80 cents of your advertising dollar. If they're weak, nothing else in the email matters. Because no one opens your email in the first place. People need to open the email to see everything else. So if you have a horrible subject line, it doesn't matter if you have an offer that is, hey, click this button, get a 6-pack instantly. It doesn't matter. People won't open your email. So there's a couple ways you can personalize. You can either use the company's name, use the person's first name, or call out a specific problem they're likely facing. Now, luckily, with most cold email softwares out there, you can include stuff like company name or first name, and it will automatically import those items from the lead list that you upload so that each email will be personalized with that. So for a specific problem you're facing, you could say, struggling to build a predictable lead flow, or for a company name, quick question about company name, or for the person's first name mixed with the problem. Hey, first name, are you currently looking to take on more clients? So your subject line needs to be spot on. If you screw this up, the rest of your email doesn't get read. Like I said, click a button, get a 6-pack. It won't matter. No one will open it. So now we've gone our subject lines. Let's go over the body. So the email body is, well, of course, the most chunky part of it. I mean, no kidding. It's where the offer lies. So I use the same structure every single time. It's simple and it works. Think of it like a repeatable framework. So step one is the personalization on the body. So personalization would be first name, company name, or the problem, or mentioning specific industry. So if you're a PR agency reaching out to hotels and resorts, you could say something along the lines of, hey, I noticed company name and wanted to reach out about something I've been seeing with hotels and resorts lately. The more specific with the problem you can get, the better. Because the people you're reaching out to have already gotten so many emails hey, do you want a website funnel developed for you? Hey, do you want more leads? I can help you with that. No one cares. You have to point out the problem. Hey, are you currently looking for more media coverage for your hotel and resort to potentially get more clients? Or you give a structure hey, have you tried PR and it just completely failed horribly? So that leads into the problem. Just calling out a pain point. Hotels and resorts we work with struggle to get meaningful media coverage that actually drives bookings. They spent thousands on traditional ads but couldn't break through the noise when travelers were making booking decisions. So it's once again, problem. It's personalized. You want this to perfectly describe what they're going through. But something that I hear a lot is, oh, but not every single person I'm going to reach out to is going to have this problem. That's cold outreach. Not everyone is going to have the problem that you solve. Say you solve lead gen. Maybe at that point, you reach out to a company and they're currently maxed out. They can't take any more clients. Their current restraints on fulfillment. So they're not going to take on a lead gen agency because that's not their current problem. So don't even worry about that. If you reach out to someone and it's not something they're looking for, they just won't respond to your email. So don't even worry about that. Just call out the specific problem that you solve. Don't be general with it. I've seen too many email sequences that were so general. Hey, you want me to build a website for you? It's no, that's a horrible offer. A better way to structure that offer would be, hey, is the click-through rate on your website bad? Or are you not getting as many meetings booked from your website? So you're introducing the problem. You're not saying, hey, I do website development. You're implying that, but you're not saying it. You're appealing to the problem because there's been so many emails that say, hey, I'm XYZ person from XYZ agency. No one cares. No one cares that you're working with or what your business name is, what your name is. They just care, hey, what do you solve? Do I have this problem? Then can you take my money? Of course, it's not that cut and dry, but that is essentially the framework of it. So that's the problem. Step 3 is the solution and or case study. Both are great. So you bring proof, like, hey, we helped XYZ company generate 7.2 billion impressions and a 285% increase in inquiries using our strategic media placement. So that would be an example for PR firms. Just any and all case studies that you have that prove what you do works. And then step 4 is the ask. Keep it simple and low pressure. Like, would you be open to a quick conversation about how company name could leverage similar strategies? Or, hey, would you be open to a 15-minute call to discuss to see if this is a fit for you? And then finally, step 5 is your signature. So it'd be best, your first name, last name, your role, and your company. So like my account signature would be best Miguel Santos, the founder, Inbox Vessel. Simple as that. Quick note before moving into the rest of this video. If you're an agency looking to connect with more B2B clients, but are looking for a done-for-you service, I have my Calendly link below. Just a quick discovery call, see if we're a fit. On the discovery call, we'll be going over, everything here, like how we structure everything, the KPIs that we track, and your offer and how we can format it for cold email. Anyways, back to the video. And finally, step 3 is the follow-ups. This is where the bread and butter is. Because you can't just send out one email and forget it. No, you need the follow-up, create a multi-step sequence. Most cold emails are the same offer. They're just wrapped differently, like same offer, different wrapper. You got to change up the angle, but keep the structure the same. So like an example for email 2, because you don't have to go as cut and rigid as this, like personalization, problem, solution, ask, signature. Well, signature is generally at the end, but you can mix it up. This is just what I use. These are just what I recommend that you have in all, they hit all the points. You can be in a different order. Perhaps you can structure this as problem, personalization, solution, ask, signature. There's a million and one ways to do this. So like email 2, maybe you skip the personalization. And email 2, let's also say you're using the same subject line, because you don't always have to create a new subject line for emails. You can just use the previous one, and you dive straight into the problem. Like, hey, first name, previous hotels and resorts we've worked with struggled to get featured in travel publications, create newsworthy moments that generate organic coverage, and actually turn those impressions into booked meetings. Then we recently generated 1 billion impressions for our flagship during COVID restrictions and helped XYZ company and XYZ metric with a quick 15-minute call to discuss how company name could leverage similar strategies be worth it. An example for email 3. Hey, first name, I noticed XYZ problem in the hotels and resorts landscape. Once again, assuming you're a PR agency and you serve hotels and resorts. A lot of brands are focusing on travel publications, but the biggest opportunities are actually in lifestyle, entertainment, and business media. We helped XYZ brand. We generated them so many impressions globally, drove massive traffic increases. With a brief conversation to be how company name can implement a similar strategy, as you can see, it's like all these are genuinely the same. Like it's the same ask. It could even perhaps be like the same case studies. You just change up the messaging. Because, well, one, you got to change up the messaging, because if people look at your previous emails and see they're copy and pasted, they're going to see it as low effort. So it takes away your credibility. And it also flags you for spam. Because if you just send the exact same copy and pasted email, like Gmail, Microsoft, whatever email software you're using will flag it. Because there's a lot of spam out there. So yeah, just don't copy paste. You gotta really change up the wording. Or even if you're doing A/B tests, you could test different offers. So like the A test would be like the first offer, B test would be the second offer. Like this isn't rocket science. Just with A/B tests, test one variable at a time. Don't change everything. So perhaps the first test could be the offer. So for like about a month is usually like the best to go with, because it gives you enough time for the test to get results, but also doesn't give it too long to the point where you're wasting money. So maybe month 1 is testing the offer, month 2 testing the subject line, month 3 testing the CTA. The goal here is to improve the results of the emails every single month. You always want to be looking to beat your previous email. So an example of a final email, so no matter how many steps you have in a sequence, so like the most common I see is 4-step, I've seen 8-step, 12-step, 15-step, like 12 and 15 is really for like emailing like prospects that you've already like worked with or talked with. But the final email would just be kind of like creating urgency. It's like, hey, first name, like this will be my last email unless I hear back from you. This is important. If you say it's going to be your last email, leave it as your last email. Because one thing that I see all the time is I've even read through sequences where it says, hey, it's going to be my last email. And then I see another step with another email. So you just lied. Because people aren't stupid. They'll scroll up and see, they sent me this email, but their previous one said that was their last one. This guy's really scummy. You don't want that. If it's your last email, keep it as your last email. Stay true to your word. Because even if you send another email and if someone replies, they just have to scroll up like one roll of the mouse and they'll see that you are a liar. Do you want to be a liar over cold email? I hope I don't have to answer that question for you. So then for final emails, like, hey, this will be my last email unless I hear back from you. I know you probably pitch constantly, then here's how we're different. You know, we don't just get you mentioned, once again, assuming PR, we don't just get you mentioned in travel blogs. We create newsworthy moments that land you in mainstream media where potential guests are already paying attention. And then you move on to the solution. Well, move on the problem, the solution, the ask, the signature, you get the deal. And yeah, this is how like cold emails run. The best thing is just to test. Do A/B tests. See what works for each industry. Each industry is different. There's not really a rhyme or reason for, because one message in PR can do really well, but then in marketing it tanks. Like, there's not really any rhyme or reason for it. I mean, there probably is, but like I'm not going to be looking into that. That's its own can of worms. But just do A/B tests, constantly implement. And one of the most important things with cold email is just don't be spammy. Make it personalized. Because once again, people aren't stupid. If they read your email and feel like it's spammy, it doesn't matter what your offer is or how much proof you have. They'll read it and see you as spammy. See you as the guy that's spamming their inbox. Just don't do that. Stop. It's that simple. Just once again, you can follow a template like this. Your problem, the solution, the ask, the signature. Modify that for whatever industry you're in. Do monthly A/B test and you're set. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys another time.